Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back and checking me out. Man, I've been so in tune with how grateful I am for the community that I have here in San Francisco. I am just surrounded by so many amazing people, from my friends and family. My sister lives here with me, to my clients. My clients are some of the most inspiring people that I have the opportunity to work with. So on that note, today I want to talk with you about what I call stirring the pot. In my workshops, this is actually one of the bigger topics that we cover because there's a lot to cover in it. And so when I talk about stirring the pot, it's about kind of allowing a person to get riled up. Oftentimes when we are working somatically with people, people come in and they're already calmed down from something, or they feel like it's already passed, and yet they're still holding on to it somatically. They still feel like there's something that's bothering them innately, or whenever they think about it, stuff gets triggered in the body. And so the idea here with stirring the pot is, if someone comes in and you're working with them and you can't really seem to get at the thing, get at what it is that's really bothering them. It's kind of like, yeah, well, this thing happened. They might start to hold themselves like, like, yeah, this thing happened, but it's fine. I'm just like, this sort of thing happens where there's somatic guarding, but they're not able to consciously recognize that that's what's going on with themselves. And that's a really exaggerated somatic guard. Sometimes people will just gently tuck the chin, or they'll avoid eye contact, or they'll look up because, it's whatever various forms of avoidance they're using. They can even heighten the pitch of the voice to avoid. There's different ways through observing the body that you can tell if someone's avoiding. And so if they're avoiding, and then on top of that, they're not able to get at what it is somatically, or what it is even mentally that's bothering them, that's when stirring the pot comes into play. So the idea with stirring the pot is, someone comes in, they're working with, abuse as a child. And they're like, well, that was 20 years ago. It's really not a big deal now. I don't know. And so this is going to sound really intense. But actually the thing to do there would be to bring up some of those things, bring up the event, bring them back to that event through all the senses. So remembering it visually, remembering it physically, remembering it, even maybe there's tastes or smells involved, and even like where their body was, what their body was feeling at the time of these instances. So the idea is that once you start to see the person stirred up or triggered or responsive to some of the things, to stirring the pot, then that's enough. Then from that point, you're able to work with them just enough to get them to the point where there's a lot more going on. They're more in their bodies. They're able to get back into that experience again. And so from there, then you can start to work with them in other ways through somatic body work. So of course, with stirring the pot, you also have to be able to know how to settle people, because if things are really, really stirred and everything's shaking in the body and everything's re-triggered, and you don't know how to bring a person back into a regulatory sensation in their bodies or sensation in their minds, then Houston, we have a problem, because you don't want to let your clients leave without feeling a little bit more regulated, a little bit more back on the ground. However, stirring the pot is a really effective and sometimes necessary way to help people begin to process old traumas. So this may kind of inspire a lot of different questions from people, and I welcome them. The more questions you can ask me, the more that I have fuel to give you information about the stuff that interests you here. So please leave comments. If you have a question about something, I would be more than happy to answer it, especially in regards to how to work with stored emotion and trauma on the table, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm teaching people how to work with stored emotion and trauma in the body, and there's so many different ways, there's so many different topics to be able to do this, and that's why I'm just kind of like giving you one little piece at a time. I also want to make an announcement for you people who are in San Francisco. I'm going to be hosting a salon once every 3 weeks. It's going to be the third Saturday of every month from 6 to 8 p.m. And for $20, you can come. I'm going to serve tea and do a little 10-minute guided meditation. And then I'll do a small sample, a small demonstration of my work by someone who volunteers to get worked on. And I'm really, really excited to do this. I just want to start offering this work to people so they know, they can see how effective and how useful it is for people who are struggling, who are going through whatever various emotions, whatever various traumas. So I'm really excited about that. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Please like, subscribe, share, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. Bye-bye.